Right, so we now head into our penultimate race of the day here at the home of champions karting Genk for senior Rotax groups B and C. Your grid is as follows. On the front row, it will be Sean Butcher and Justin Polman representing Great Britain and the Netherlands respectively. Row 2, it is Dave Blom from the Netherlands and Mads Ries from Denmark. Teresa Babikova and Storm Brouwer from the Czech Republic and the Netherlands respectively start row 3, with Milan Koppens and Jules Castro making it an all-Belgian row number 4. And follow that with another 2 Belgians on row 5 with Lars Zanen and Vincent van Kerkhoven. 11th place is Fabian Bock, followed by the Netherlands' Bas Janssen. Then we got Ben Burgess from the United Kingdom and Jeff Michiels in 13th and 14th. Arthur Horsch from France ahead of Switzerland's Mario Sidler, with Robin Knutsson from Sweden, Yashram Jankan from the Netherlands ahead of Amandine Travadon ahead of, we'll see if Hughes van der Candelera looks to be coming out onto the circuit after the medical check. So good to see Hughes back for another stab at it. Then you've also got Clémentine Benoit from France and then Bart de Wit in 22nd. This is the penultimate race. So for our senior Rotax drivers, we'll have one more after this. So in total, we'll have around about 20 minutes of racing action to conclude the day here at the BNL Karting Series after what's been a very emotional return to the Home of Champions commentary box for me, personally. So now, 22 senior Rotax drivers, all powered by a 125cc Rotax Max Evo engine. They will now split into the tram lines. The red light goes out, and we are off and away, heading down towards turns 1 and 2 for the first time in this race. And a good start from Butcher, and up the inside. Looks like it's going to be a bit argy-bargy, is it? No, looks like everyone's trying to make it through as cleanly as possible. All 22 drivers have made it through into turn 4 so far. Into 5. Let's see if they get through 6 nice and cleanly. A bit line astern at the moment, as now looks like Butcher has got away at the minute. Into the lead through turn 7. Mads Ries looks to be in P3 at the moment. Oh no! Oh, we've had a coming together off of turn number 7. There's 2 GKS carts. There were a couple of... Oh no, that is the 3... That's the 332 of Robin Knutsson with the left front wheel going... That's wobbling more than I don't know what. And that cart is not going anywhere, unfortunately. So that is a definite retirement on the spot. Multi-cart... And there is... That is the 3... Is that the 396? No, that's Jules Castro. No, 366, that's Yashram Jankan, who's just been eliminated as well. So, oh my goodness me. Many, many drivers have just had their races compromised. Ben Burgess was the other KR Sport driver that I saw on the screen. Vincent van Kerkhoven involved. Yashram Jankan. So 3 of those drivers. I wonder if Ben... so there's Ram Jankan walking a bit despondently away from the 366 that's outside on the entrance into turn number 8. So we're not even 2 minutes in, and we've had dramas as up into second place is Dave Blom. Mads Ries is trying to follow, but then is also being caught by, I think that's Storm Brouwer that's just got past. Well, Teresa Babikova is up into P4, so Dave Blom up into P3, Storm Brouwer in P5, followed by Milan Koppens, Justin Polman, who started on the front row and is now being closed in on by Jules Castro with Lars Zanen and Germany's Fabian Bock, rounding out the top 10. But Butcher has a little bit of a lead. He has about half a second over Mads Ries at the moment, so 0.518. And Arthur Horsch now has the fastest lap of the race, 56.722. Arthur Horsch currently in 11th position, as there's more wheeling and dealing heading into turn 10, as this is going to get very nasty very quickly if they're not careful. Oh, and the 301, that was Justin Polman, goes a bit wide as everyone's trying to scramble all over for the scraps, and that is being led by Jules Castro, as Sean Butcher now has a lead of over 0.6 of a second, is up the inside, going into, that is the 3:44 of Milan Coppens, who's got past Jules Castro. Now these two guys were running in juniors last year. And, well, I know Jules Castro was. Milan Coppens, I will have to, I probably have made a mistake there, and so if I do need to apologise if that's the case, that Milan, I know, has run in juniors before, but he's been running in seniors as well. So a really good move by Milan Coppens up into P6. Fabian Bock now up into P8. Larzanian, Justin Pohlmann now down to the last position of the top 10 with 5 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock still to go. So we have 3 retirements. That brings us down from 22 to 19 drivers. So Ben Burgess out, Robin Knutsson out, Yashram Jankan out. So 3 drivers. Literally the concertina, the domino effect started on the inside of turn 7, where it looked like that Robin Knutsson was clattered into as a result of, I'm not too sure whether it was an incident between I'm just going to have a look at where they started, because Ben Burgess started 13th, Robin Knutsson started 17th, Yashram Jankan was alongside Robin Knutsson. So whether those two were battling for position, and Ben Burgess was the unwilling participant. 4 minutes and 42 seconds still to go here. And there are possibly more trips, more twists in the tail in this than I might be able to sort of talk about here, because at the end of it all, many people might think, how can you sort of like say, well, yeah, well, he got in the way of me. Well, it's one of one and multiple of the other. So in many respects, you can't really sort of dictate how a race is going to go. So at the moment, with 4 minutes and 6 seconds still left on the clock remaining, we have Sean Butcher still leading. Mads Ries now 0.985 of a second adrift, ahead of Teresa Babikova, Dave Blom, Stormbrouwer, Milan Coppens, Jules Castro, Justin Pohlmann, Fabian Bock, Laura Zanen, Arthur Horsch, Mario Sidler, Bas Janssen, Clementine Benoit, Bart de Wit, Hughes van der Candelera, who's still running in 16th despite the nasty whack he got a bit earlier on. Amandine Tavadon is running in P17. Jeff Machiels and Vincent van Kerkhoffen round out the top 19 positions, with Ben Burgess, Robin Knutsson and Yasharam Jankan having to take, provisionally speaking, an early cold shower, I'm afraid. So they will have to just cool themselves down, get themselves composed and get ready to go back racing tomorrow. And the top 30 after the intermediate classification post these heats today, once everything's been ratified, will then end up seeing who will be the top 30 and who will be those going into the second chance heat tomorrow morning, which will take place at 10:45 local time. That'll be 9:45 UK time. So Sean Butcher still doing a really good job at the front of the field, 55.360. We'll make that a 55.309. He's just put in on lap number 7. 2 1,000ths off. Well, that was 2 1,000ths off until Justin Pohlmann said, I'm going to pop in another fastest lap. He's taking a leaf out of Baz Lummers' books from earlier on. He's just put in a 55.196 on that particular occasion. So in that sort of respect, pretty good to see that even with the drivers still not giving up, still going for it all the way through. So Butcher having a comfortable lead, as now Castro looking to battle away, and has just been passed by Justin Pohlmann for P7 through the exit of turn 9. So great move by Pohlmann. And just ahead, he's got the three. Looks to be, I'm just keeping an eye on what's been going on, because you've got Butcher, you've got Ries, Babikova rounding out the top 3. So strong results for these 3. This will pretty much give them an opportunity to get themselves into the top 30. As there's another nice move up the inside, and that was on the 370. So Justin Pohlmann, I think, has just got up past Dave Blom into 6th position. Jules Castro is the driver at the back of that train. And then just up ahead is Milan Koppens, and then Storm Brouwer rounding out the top 4 positions at the minute. But Butcher just calmly pulling away into the distance, making sure that his place is secure for tomorrow. And his gap now between him and Mads Ries is nearly 1.5 seconds. Mads Ries is a further 0.6 of a second ahead of the Czech Republic's Tereza Babikova, as we now have 44 seconds on the clock remaining plus an additional lap. So this time around it will be the penultimate lap of this race. Butcher's gap now between him and Ries is now 1.431 seconds, with Babikova just behind. As there's a move up the inside, and that was on Milan Koppens, and Justin Pollmann has got past the Belgian. Nicely done. And that's for P5, and makes the move stick by the exit of turn number 3. As Dave Blom loses out again, this time to Jules Castro. So Dave Blom dropping down the order. Not been a good day in the office for the Dutch driver in the 370, who's now being caught by Lars Zanen. Fabian Bock rounds out the top 10. So timer has expired for the penultimate time here today, and this time around Sean Butcher, representing Great Britain with KR Sport, will now cross the start-finish line for the penultimate time, putting on the last lap of the race. And his gap now between him and Mads Ries is 1.660. Good job by Tereza Babikova to take P3. Storm Brouwer and Justin Pollmann round out the top 5 after a great move by Pollmann up the inside of Milan Koppens on turn 3, last lap around. But at the rest of the field, all the way down to Vincent van Kerkhoven in 19th position, who now has just crossed the line. Everyone's now on the 11th and final lap as Sean Butcher now comes through the exit of turn number 9. As now Justin Pollmann gets very, very defensive. Or no, Justin Pollmann's trying to go for Storm Brouwer, but round the final corner, it's a great victory for Great Britain's Sean Butcher. Mads Ries from Denmark makes it into the top 2, ahead of Tereza Babikova from the Czech Republic. Storm Brouwer and Justin Pollmann round out the top 5, all covered by 4.847 seconds at the end of that race. We've had 3 retirements, unfortunately. Ben Burgess from Great Britain, Robin Knutsson from Sweden, and Yash Ramjankan from the Netherlands. All 3 drivers will be back in some... we'll probably more than likely see them back. If they haven't had the greatest run of results today, they will be in the second chance heat tomorrow morning. But let's have a look at the finishing order for the penultimate heat of Senior Rotax for day 1 of BNL Round 1 2020. So Sean Butcher takes the win ahead of Denmark's Mads Ries by 1.829 seconds. Then follow that up with Tereza Babikova, just over 0.8 of a second down in 3rd place from Mads Ries. Storm Brouwer and Justin Pollmann make it 2 SP Motorsport karts in the top 5 ahead of Buvin Power's Milan Koppens, and then the GKS Lemons Power duo of Jules Castro and Lars Zanen. RB Motorsports' Dave Blom was ahead of Voik Motorsports' Fabian Bock from Germany, who completes the top 10. And it was Mario Sidler, Baz Janssen, Artur Horsch, Hugo van der Candelera resurging back to what was effectively P14 at the end of the race. Bart de Wit in 15th ahead of Clémentine Benoit, Jeff Machiels, Amandine Travadon, and then Vincent van Kerkhoven being the 19th and final classified driver with Ben Burgess, Robin Knutsson and Yash Ramjankan not finishing the race.